Hi Aquarians, it's Veroosh. Welcome to my channel and welcome to 2022. We're going to do an intro reading today for 2022 for your sign, sun, moon, and rising. We'll take a look at astrology of this beginning of the year and then we'll read tarot cards alongside of that. I am doing a members only extended at the end, so if you are a member, there is a link for you in the extended. I've also turned off comments, which means that we can comment on the collective videos and not necessarily on the individual signs. I wanted to see how it goes. So far, so good. And I have a bit of a cough from being sick. So if you hear me, wheezing a little bit, I was sick last month, so I'm not sick anymore, but it's still affecting my throat a little bit. I did Aquarian reading yesterday and I didn't like how I sounded because of that cough. So that is available for members only. You guys are the only ones who will get to see it. And it'll be a lot of the same of what we talk about here right now. Also, if you want a reading with me, please go into the description and there will be a direct link there. My site is still down, but when I bring it back up, I may raise the prices, so you may want to get a reading now if you've been waiting for a reading with me. They may go up soon. Okay, so the way to understand the beginning of the year is that basically the energy is shifted from majority air energy, which was definitely prevalent in 2021, to an energy that really focuses on water, much more water and earth specifically. So we're shifting towards an energy that is more just about emotions, and if you have water or earth in your chart, it's likely that you'll feel better. Your energy was highlighted for the last year, for better or worse, and it depends on how much Aquarian transits you have. The more you have, the more intense this will be. Last year was a highlight of the Aquarian energy. And so things may have picked up pace to the point that it was crazy. You had a lot going on, a lot of people to interact with, a lot of projects on the go. There was a lot of things going on for you last year. And so this year is quite a big change towards more of an internal energy, more focusing in, figuring out what you want, figuring out where you want to take things from here in. It's a really good energy for touching back with yourself. The focus will be off of you much more than it was last year. Last year you were, on the podium, you were on the stage, front and center, with the spotlight on you. This year it's a much more subtle earth, water-driven energy. So unless you have a lot in earth and water, it's going to be a little quieter. The other way to look at the beginning of the year is that all the transits are on half of the zodiac. They're actually all on the left side of the nodes. So it's considered something significant in astrology when all the transits are in one side of the chart. It can mean an imbalance, but to me, I'd like to focus on what's good. And the imbalance would apply more to mundane astrology, which means astrology that concerns itself with politics and things like that. So even though you may sense a bit of an imbalance, it may not be so intense for you as it is for us collectively. The half of the chart that is active has to do with close friends, family, and a big opportunity to touch base with yourself. So the focus here is looking at yourself, taking care of your home, taking care of your family, touching base with good friends, and really taking a step back to think about things for yourself. So that is how the energy starts the year off for you. Things like partnership, career ambitions, travel, they may be significantly downplayed in your chart through the beginning of the year. So it's much more Aquarian at home, chilling, being a villain and having fun with family and friends. That's not a bad thing, and I think you need that wind down from last year, so I hope it helps. The first transit I really wanted to mention is the nodes switching into Taurus and Scorpio. This happened between December and January, depending on which system you pay attention to. So the North Node moved from your 5th house to your 4th house, or is moving there now. That will bring a huge emphasis on your home, on family, just spending time around the home. You will be very concerned about how the quality of life at home is. You will want to pull back a lot more and be around your house. Some of you are going to do renos with your house and be very focused on that as well. With Uranus there, I wonder if your renos are going to be like, like weird additions, or like a gazebo in the front yard kind of vibe. So we'll see where that takes you. The 4th house has a lot to do with mother or father, depending on your charts. Different astrologers have different takes on this. So an emphasis on your relationship with a parent may also really come up. This may show up as them being more around, if they're around, or talking with them more, or even if they're not around, being concerned by working through issues with regard to them. The second transit in this axis is the South Node. And the South Node enters your 10th house of career. And so it will be there for a year and a half till July 2023. And in the 10th house, the South Node represents releasing things to do with your career, things that hold you back. Aquarian have like a ball buster energy, right? So sometimes some of you, not all, step on toes as you get things done, especially in your career. And so if you feel hung up on the past, like something's stopping you because of past events or interactions with people, this South Node transit will really clarify. If you have a bad reputation for whatever reason, this South Node may help you address those things and work them out. So it's a nice transit overall. We'll do more deeper dives into the nodes, but for now, just know it's in your 4th and 10th house, and that's one of the reasons why it's a quieter year. Okay, so let's see your energy. So we have the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, that's really a big focus on family and home. Then we have the Page of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. There could be some new addition coming into your family. This could be something like an adopted kid or a step kid, somebody possibly youthful. If you have a younger sibling, they may have a new relationship. And it feels as though this person's bringing a certain degree of chaos energy. So it feels like this person in some way is bringing the storm in. This will be a challenge to the family members. But I do feel as though you have a good family, the 10 of Pentacles. You love each other a lot right now. But I do feel like there's like a, how do you say, the Tasmanian daredevil, is that what it is? It just feels like someone with a lot of energy and a lot of spunk, not scared to step on toes and not scared to kind of shake things up. So that person's coming in. I don't think that they're a blood relative. I think that they're a new relative for whatever reason. We have the Ace of Pentacles, new beginnings, 2 of Swords. And this will adjust for some people. For some of you, this will be a younger sibling. I just want to say, because some people, I can tell some people are going to be like, what about this person? There's going to be an opportunity to do with money around the house. I keep on getting things like renos and things for you of that nature. But I feel like there's going to be something of a material nature that's a positive around your house. There will be a lack of clarity about the issue. You'll have to put some effort in to really understand it. But once you do, there will be like a good decision that you make. You will make a decision from like a learned place, a smart place. And you'll make a very clear decision about what you need to do. But there's definitely something to do with family, financial opportunities to do with the family, some type of indecision from a lack of information, and then suddenly it's like there's a push forward to make a decision about something. We'll talk about more the 12th house, which I think is affecting this in a little bit, so we'll get there. The second transit I wanted to highlight for you guys is a money transit. Jupiter entered into Pisces on December 28th through the 29th, depending where you are. Jupiter will be in this degree until May of 2022, at which point it will retrograde back into, it will enter into Aries until October, and then in October it'll go back into Pisces until December. I kept saying November, but it's December. And so you are getting quite a few good transits of Jupiter in your second house at this time. What this brings is financial opportunity, financial growth. This is a really good time to sell certain assets, and you'll get the best for them right now. You may meet very important people who will give you opportunities that you didn't have otherwise. It's a very nice transit. We'll talk about it more later. At the beginning of the year, Jupiter is on a square to the nodes. So the nodes are switching from Gemini, an air sign, just like Jupiter switching from Aquarius, an air sign, to a water sign, Pisces, and the nodes are switching to Taurus, an earth sign, which is a complement to water. So you have this energy of the square happening at the beginning of the year and throughout January. What this means to me is right away you're sort of orienting towards being at home, being focused on your home life, being focused on your family, and yet there's opportunities coming in that are giving you some kind of exciting thing to worry about or be excited about with regard to financial opportunities. And so that is pulling your attention away from the home, away from reconciling whatever career things need to be reconciled. And so it might be a distraction, but not a bad one. And so you want to balance the two. You want to make sure that you're giving yourself enough time at home to rest and to figure out what you really want. I think you'll get, with the North Node transit in the 4th house, especially at the beginning of the year, I think you'll get overwhelmed. Simply, I think you'll get too much information. It'll feel overwhelming. You're going to want to pull back. That's how I feel your energy is going to be. So if you're too much out with other people, too much out on the town, the North Node transit will make you feel like, I want to go home. You'll just have this inclination for the next year and a half until July 2023. So Jupiter in the 2nd house here is going to challenge that, because from the outside you're going to have like financial opportunities. And so it's important to honor both. Make sure that you're staying at home and taking care of yourself and taking care of your family, but also, really making sure that the opportunities are not being missed. Like I said, we have a window of opportunity between now and May, and then like a 2.5 month window in October, November, and December. So look out. It's a money transit. It happens once every 12 years. So I would be excited if I were you. The next, I'll pick a few cards to see what that's about. Your first card is the 8 of Rods. So kind words and encouragement. I just feel as though you're making connections with people with whom you have similar priorities and values, and those people recognize in you those qualities and values. And so because of a personal charisma, they are giving you help in this direction and with regard to money or some type of opportunity. 2 of Pentacles. I do feel as though it's a conflict for you. It's almost like somebody like calling you up and saying, hey, do you want to move to Florida for a little bit? Here's a job, here's an opportunity. It's like they're plucking you out of your circumstances. So the 2 of Pentacles is like you're being pulled out of what you have set up going on, because there's some opportunity that's coming to you from an outsider, and that's out of pace with how your life is structured. So at this time, you may, find that as a bit of a adjustment period. I definitely think that whatever's coming your way in terms of work is positive. So it's not going to be like you don't want to do it and you don't want to move, or you don't want to shift your time around, your schedule around. This is something that you're going to want to do. This is going to be something that's very positive. It's just going to feel awkward and you're going to have to adjust to it a little bit. Then we have the Queen of Wands, Sag, Leo, or Aries. Here's a little bit of a tip for you. When you start your job, when you start doing what you're doing, when you're around new people, you want to be the Queen of Wands. So you want to be really happy, shiny, bubbly, kind of not too serious. I just feel like at this time, this is your best strategy to succeed. So yeah, just dumb it down a little bit and make it more appealing and more like not problematic in any way. This will give you success. The next message is the 8 of Pentacles, which is Sun in Virgo. So like we were saying, there's some shift with regard to work in a new direction. And you don't need to tell everybody what you're up to. That's another message I'm getting. Then we have the Moon, hidden feelings. You want to kind of do things in private. You don't want to announce to everybody what's going on. And I think that you're setting yourself up for some type of significant success. So be excited about this. The node, the North Node is shifting towards Aquarius. It's still a few years before it aligns, but it's definitely heading your way. So over a period of time, I feel like you're starting something and starting it on the low, which means that starting it in a way that other people don't notice. And I do think that you're keeping it a secret. Whatever you're doing at this time, you're not announcing it to everyone. It's just your private little thing. And I think with the Emperor there, it's suggesting that it's going to move towards some money. And remember, so before the North Node enters Aquarius, it's going to go through Pisces. And so you're very close to a transit, literally a couple years, in which financial growth, very big financial growth, will be possible. So very good. Good money this year, good money in the next couple years. Set it up right. The last 2 transits I wanted to mention are the retrogrades. Venus went retrograde in Capricorn on December 19th and will turn direct in Capricorn on January 28th. I'd like to do a dedicated video on Venus because there's a lot to say, but suffice it to say, it's an 8-year transit, meaning it went retrograde in Capricorn 8 years ago. So if you want to understand how it works in your life, you may want to go back and see what that time was like. It won't be exact because obviously there are other transits that are different, but it might give you some idea of what Venus retrograde is all about. And look at specifically the time in which Venus was retrograde 8 years ago, not the whole year. It's the time that you want to focus on. Venus is retrograde in your 12th house. I think Venus retrograde in the 12th house is a tough one. It has a lot to do with introspection. That's where I was getting at with my previous comments. Introspection, focusing on what you want, focusing on the truth behind everybody's actions and behind everything that everybody's saying. The 12th house has a lot to do with hidden enemies as well. So when Venus is retrograde, the negative predisposition of people, the negative things they think and say, will be highlighted. And this will help you identify who you are to people. I think that it's a tough transit in that way because sometimes it's better not to know, I guess. What do they say? Ignorance is bliss. But also at the same time, once you know, you can't be blindsided. So it's kind of a blessing as well. There's some powerful transits with this Venus retrograde. Mars is going to form several conjunctions with Venus. Pluto is going to form a conjunction with Venus on March 3rd. And Mars and Venus are going to form a conjunction again in Aquarius throughout March. So be patient. If I were thinking about love timelines, there could be something that has started for you with regard to love interests, especially around groups of friends of people. Give it time if this is a message for you. If you've met someone and you think they're hot, if you think they're nice, something might evolve for you leading up to March 4th through the 25th. So be patient. And again, the message is it's very much below the surface. It's very quiet, and it's very, not really in your face. Let's take a look at your cards. We have the Ace of Cups. See, I'm getting it. The Ace of Cups, some kind of new beginning in love. I don't think it's out there. And even if you have a relationship at this time, I would say there's a really high chance that it's going to be quite secretive or private. Not in a disgusting way, but there's going to be an element of privacy there. Then we have the King of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, secondary transits in fire, Sag, Leo, or Aries. You have a predisposition to be around or attracting people with hard personalities, men or women who are tough, people who go their own way or who have life experience. They're unwavering, they're very serious, they're not to be messed around, but they're very loyal and kind. So that's the energy of the person who it may be describing. If this is your partner, then it looks like a new level of closeness or sparks flying between you and them. Then we have the Two of Pentacles, which is trying to work things out. I think that there's a level of privacy, there's a level of schedules. I feel like timing is going to be an issue, and you have a predisposition at the beginning of the year to just disconnect from other people. I think that you've been with people, living life, all this fun stuff, but I think your tolerance is maxed at this time, and many Aquarians will be very focused. You'll be longing for your bedroom. You'll be longing for your couch. You'll be not to be passive or lazy or your garden, whatever. But I think that in terms of relating to other people, you will feel a great urge to be by yourself or with someone who you have an established relationship with. So if this is a new relationship, I have a feeling that you're going to pull back, and that's going to be difficult to schedule. I don't think it's going to damage the relationship. It's just a weird timing to figure things out. We have two cards here, so we'll use two of them. So there's a King of Cups. See, there's something else there. So we have a King of Cups. It could be because some of you have met one person with whom you click, but there's someone else in your heart who you really want to be with. And then we have Sagittarian energy, Temperance. There could be someone else who's not available right now and who you're holding out for. And this is the 12th house transit as well. There's hidden feelings, there's a hidden attraction while a new one sparks up. So, just holding out is an energy. We have the Empress next, which is the energy of the mother. It's also the energy of waiting as well. So it's looking as though your heart's somewhere else. Or if it's not with someone else, then it's definitely with yourself. So I don't think you're so open or you're so running. But this also seems like a very nice connection with a nice person. So you need to figure out what you want. The Empress figures things out. Empress is Venus, by the way. So by January 28th, I hope you have a better grip on things. But I have a feeling that this may be a nuance for a few months, depending on your situation and how quickly you resolve it. So I think that some things you're going to have to wait and see. Sometimes starting a relationship with whom you've met when you really love someone else, it will nag you forever if you don't see it through, right? So it becomes a bit of a problem. Like if your heart is with one person, even if the other person is great, your heart is with the person you're waiting for. And the Temperance card is suggesting give it time, wait and see. And that might resolve itself. You may realize that it's not what you want, but until you see that for yourself, there's going to be that big question mark there. Okay, so next is the Mercury retrograde, and this is the last transit. I went a little bit deep with you guys, so sorry if this is a bit long. Mercury goes retrograde on January 14th. Where is Mercury? Oh, there you are, 25th. This is the chart for February, so Mercury's already finished its retrograde period. Mercury goes retrograde on January 14th, direct on February 4th, direct on February 4th. So retrograde in Aquarius at 10 degrees on January 14th, then direct in Capricorn on February 4th, and then re-enters Aquarius. So it's going over your ascendant. It's popping in. I feel like you're waiting for information to come through and information to be realized. I feel like secrets need to come out for you from behind some wall or some secret place. So Mercury's going to facilitate that. I feel like if there's secret admiring love or something like that, there may be a lot of like that information is going to be brought to you or shared with you in some way at this time. Okay, so let's see your cards. We have the Four of Wands, which is happy home, happy family. I'm a Virgo, I'm a hermit, so get me out of the house is like Olympic effort. So if you're feeling like a Virgo at this time with a lot of focus on, I want to be at home, it makes sense. It's not, once you get comfy, it's not really easy to go. Hanged Man. But even though I think that there's a feeling of, I should go out, I should be doing this, I should whatever. But the cards are really saying that regardless what you feel you should do, things are going to work out on their own in some way. It's going to work out in its own time. And so the advice here from the cards is that you wait and see. Mercury retrograde only lasts a few weeks. And then when it does, Mercury's about to enter Aquarius in February a second time. And so there's stuff going on behind the scenes and then coming out. So it looks like Mercury's about to enter into Aquarius on February 14th. So that means that from now on, January 14th until February 14th, you just want to chill and ride things out, even if you want things to happen or want truth to come out or have that conversation, it may have to happen of its own way. Then we have the Three of Cups, or if you want to hear from somebody, you can't rush them for reunification. Listen, one thing I said to the other signs that I didn't say to you is that this Venus retrograde is really highly complemented by Mercury retrograde because they're both in Capricorn, they're both inner planets, they're both working us through our heart center, so the things that were impacted by the conjunction in Capricorn in 2019 and 2020 are going to get unpacked now. You have to be very patient. It's like a broken leg. You can't walk on a broken leg until it's healed. You can't walk on a relationship or in a relationship unless things are figured out. You got to give it time. You have to let the other person heal. You have to let the other person reach out to you. And it's not that long of a timeline. We're talking about a month, right? So some truth is coming out. For some of you, this isn't about relationships. For some of you, this is about family. So allow yourself to have that conversation. We have the Two of Wands next. A change in perspective, a change in vision. I really strongly feel that someone needs time to reconcile. Someone needs time to reach out. And I feel like, when somebody's mad and you won't get them to see your point anyway, sometimes by stepping back, they will see the point after they've rested. And there's a change in perspective here, and it makes me feel that they are doing something like this, of this nature. Four of Pentacles, Sun in Capricorn, towards a change in perspective on something, and then Knight of Swords. It feels as though somebody saw something or had thought something. There's a lot going on in Capricorn, as I said. Someone saw or perceived something and they pulled back a little bit. That's the Four of Pentacles. But here we have the Knight of Swords rushing into this situation and saying, we got to talk. So there may be a situation in which you're prompted to have a conversation, or you may be asking someone to talk. If you can't hold it in and you have to have this conversation, and it's especially if it's after February 14th, maybe if you feel inclined to, if you want to have a talk about reconnecting with someone or figuring things out or improving them, maybe just do it. If that's what you need to do. Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde is going to reset us at this time. And so that moving forward, it's a blank slate. It's a clear slate. So we can try to build our lives in new directions again from that point. Okay? And that's in love as well. I feel like somebody's very persistent to talk to a lover. I feel like somebody's very persistent to get the truth out there, something like that. So yeah, somebody definitely wants to talk. Somebody wants to have the conversation, and the subtext is reunion. So we'll see about that. Okay, so members, we're going to take a look at this deeper. I think it's going to be juicy. So I hope you join me down in the description. And also there's, if this has sparked your interest, there's a second video from yesterday in which I sounded like crap, but it's still good information. So that's for members. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. I'll talk to you soon. Happy New Year. Bye, Aquarius.